Hello chess players, my name is Rahim. I'm a positional chess player and I've decided to start a new playlist on YouTube, sharing some of my experience and in a format of play and learn. So I will be playing some anonymous accounts on chess.com, playing blitz games, and afterwards we'll analyze these games to see positions, patterns, and ideas behind the moves, and generally a thought process. So this is my chess.com account, and we will be playing anonymously on chess.com so that we will meet some random players with random skill and learn for a different elo range. So let's begin. First game, we will play as black. I will share my thought process along the way, but my opponent doesn't move. Okay. We will wait and begin a new game soon. Let's start a new game. This is a new format for me, so I'm not kind of a professional streamer or YouTuber, but I will try my best to share with you ideas behind my moves. So this is an English opening, and straight out of the opening we'll see that we can win a pawn here. Just go back, then move the knight out. This is a danger, but nothing serious. Just developing moves, gaining a tempo, and then we would like to develop our bishop, castle, get some space. This is also an idea, but d3 pawn would be weak, and generally this structure considered a little bit better, although black has an open file and for sure wants to take our knight and plant his bishop here. So what can we do? We can just take this knight, and maybe we'll have time to take this pawn also. Let's try this. Pawn is a pawn, as they say. Go back and castle, finish development. Okay, we can't castle yet, but for sure we can do a move like e3 or e4, although this gives black bishop g4 and d4 square. Actually, I like this move more. Keeping our pawn structure intact and having an idea of pushing d4 later. What is the safest square for our queen? Maybe c2. No danger levels here, no sacrifices. We just have to finish our development. Castle, nothing here, and just this rook I think is slightly misplaced, so we will try to take or not take. We will maybe. This is not good. Maybe just take. Because of this, we have this, and yeah. This is just a fork. Okay, thank you. So this is clearly winning, and now let's analyze the game. So We begin with English opening, straight out of the gate. Opponent attacks our knight. We're not pinned, so we can plant the knight here, attacking the bishop. It is defended. Okay, we can get the bishop, but the stronger way is to attack this pawn. And this knight is like a nun. He has to defend the pawn and the bishop also. We take the bishop, take the pawn, get back, defend, and just develop. We try to castle. Black tries something. We just take the knight here, because if we castle, for instance, like this, we get this position. This is not good, since we have a weak pawn on d3, and then we will lose an important bishop on g2, which is not so good. So in this situation it would be better, I think, to take the knight and take a pawn, get back. Don't allow black to take e2, e3. Why this is not so good? Because after this and this, maybe black has a way to come to this square. Maybe through some maneuvers like this. Plant a knight on c5, pressure on d3, either this or e6, d4, and this is not the best structure, although we have a dark square bishop, but keeping the pawns together is a little bit better, since we have the option to push our pawns further after we castle, after we defend the position. So attack, move the queen out of the way, castle, don't allow this. Maybe this, but this move c takes d5 is more straightforward, more forcing, and just a fork. Let's begin a new game. We play as black, and we'll play a modern defense. Okay, this is not so good. We break apart the center from the get-go. Just takes and do c5. The idea behind these moves is to undermine the center after white goes with pawns further. These pawns are no longer together, and we just undermine these pawns. Now, after all of these exchanges, the pawn on d4 is weak, and this is our main target. After knight to f3, we go with bishop to g4, knight here, and maximum pressure on d4 pawn. Yes, white can go here, attack our knight, but the idea is generally the same. White is thinking for some reason. Clearly doesn't like that this pawn is now a target. Okay. Pin the knight, which is defending the pawn on d4. Maybe this, we just go knight h6 and castle. So that's why in the beginning, in the opening, you try to build up the center, pawns together, strong center, and this is just helps black to undermine the structure and get a better position. Here we can just plant a knight on f5 straight away. Since we don't have a clear attack on the king, we can prolong a castle for a little while. And okay, if you take, he takes, and then there's a danger of this. Okay, takes, and check. So let's just castle. This knight goes nowhere. He could plant a knight here or castle. Doesn't change anything much. So if we take, he takes here. If we take, he takes with the queen. So first move is to take the knight. Get rid of the defender of the pawn. Then we win this. Then we could win b2, e5, and the center collapses. Pretty straightforward chess so far. And white is pretty low on time. If you know this idea, this structure for black, even though you don't know the exact moves, and you know the idea behind the moves, what is the idea, how to punish this play, where pieces belong, you can win quite more often. Check. And now the decision, take here or here. If we take on e5, white has time to move his knight to c3, and maybe we no longer can take the pawn on b2. But this is hanging for a long time, so we can take on b2, and then this pawn is weak. We should consider also e6, not think only for ourselves, since white has some initiative here, but there is nothing too dangerous. We could take with the bishop. This pawn is weak, so we can get rid of this pawn for the more initiative, which is kind of more important when you have rooks and queens on the board. Sometimes you can get rid of the pawns to get initiative. So this is clearly the move. Put more pressure here, and white resigns. Oh, he lost on time. Okay, let's analyze. Undermining the center straight away, takes, go here. If this just takes, then take this pawn. In this case, he defends, we take. Now this pawn is weak, we attack it, pin the knight, put the knight here, castle. Move order doesn't really matter, but generally when bishop moves to e3, we plant the knight on f5. Castle, take, and everything else is quite simple. Let's start a new game. Modern again. Well, now white plays much better. This is clearly getting some center play. Again, the plan is maybe not this. Let's wait for a while and move our knight to h6. Let's castle. Now that this bishop is here, we can move this bishop here, because in other position it could go here. And this is a little bit better for white than on previous example. Knight f5. Maybe it was a mistake from white not to take this knight, because we clearly have more pressure here. Ideas: takes, we can take. This is not hanging, since there is no knight on c3 to take this pawn. Take, under pressure, goes here. We have to move the knight, takes. Just support the pawn if we have clearly a pawn. This move takes, this under pressure. He defends. Maybe this one is better, but do not overthink things. Just take on f3. Something wrong is with my pronunciation today. The idea is pretty much the same. After this falls, this will be weak. Just support the center. Maybe ideas to regroup our bishop. Also, this idea, white doesn't have time to regroup. He could try taking on f3, weakening the king, and in this case bishop here, but we could try this maneuver, but there's not much of an attack. We have only a queen, a knight, and white has a lot of defenders nearby, although the king is slightly weak, but strategically I guess it's better to put pressure on the center, play more solid, either defend here and put more pressure on the dark squares, or play more dynamically faster, playing f6, opening up the scope of our bishop. But the downside of this is the knight on c3 combining with a queen, which could move here, and more or less weak white squares for us. All that being said, white doesn't move. Maybe we will not see the future here. Come on, man. Do something. Choose a poison. Maybe something healthy, but choose faster. Yeah, this is the downside of playing anonymously. Players either AFK or something else. This is sad. Okay. Let's try a new game. Maybe this time we will get into the end game. Pressure. Will he play this? No. Okay. Center. Let's do this. We could try to fight for the center, but I like this structure. Now he should do d4 for sure. Okay, this is good. Go here. Now we don't have target here. This is defended. Now the plan for us is different. This is a great move, supporting the knight with the knight. Okay, not bad either. We should take, so that our bishop doesn't get trapped. Castle. And then the idea is So he clearly wants to do this, but we can take with a knight. Maybe this, or just do this. Also, there is a fight for c4 square and a minority attack here, undermining the pawn, but this is all later. Now we should think a little bit about this situation. No f6. Okay. Go here. Takes, but this rook here. Let's just play this. Also preventing in the near future this move. Oh, okay. This is not so good. We will just move our knight here. Rook here. There is no this move. He clearly wants to make this pawn a little bit weaker. Maybe just take. Take and go here. Rooks will be somewhere here. This is a weak spot, definitely. Okay, I don't understand this move. This is clearly a bad move. We have some squares, but maybe he will want to go f4, which is not a bad idea, for sure. This. Okay, let's do this. Maybe here. Okay, as we predicted. We should definitely take. This is not very good. And f5. No, this is dangerous. Really dangerous. Let's go here. Blocking the defender. Now it's important this square is protected. Okay, this, we defend everything. Let's go. We are quite low on time. And do we have something here? Here? Check. Okay, no. Here. He wants to go, then he goes here, here. This, not good. I don't like my knight here, but I don't know what to do next. Check. This. Would love to get help of our rooks, maybe f5 and f7. But this is a dangerous situation. For sure, that's not enough for us to defend with queen and a knight. We would need to, in some way, to get our rooks into the game. Like f5, rook f7. This is defended. There is no danger here. Okay, good move. But maybe now this, he wants to go here. Then check, and here. Interesting. Really, really interesting. This is dangerous. Here. This is weak. Oh, yeah. Here again. Just block. Okay, this is not good for white. I just run with my king, and this is open. My knight is great here. No undermining. Just go here. No attack. White doesn't have time. Defend. Defend and attack. 8 seconds. Check. Check. Seems like it. Check. 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 He runs his king. He runs his king here. And then what? Check. I would love to get my knight into the attack, but there is no attack, sadly. Let's go here. No checks. How will he defend this one? I think there is no way. No checks. No counter attack. Just mate. This was a fun game, for sure. Some elevated heartbeat, but we managed. Okay. Okay. Prolonging the inevitable, as they say. But okay. So okay. Let's analyze the game. Clearly, we could go c5, fighting for the center, takes, but I don't like this situation when white clearly has the center, and I feel a little bit uncomfortable developing the pieces. The knight, the pawn gets kind of pressured. This I like a lot more. Getting the knight here. This kind of setup for white is tremendously good against this system, this modern system, especially when the bishop is on b3, when the pawn supported, knight is supported with the knight. At the same time, if you don't do some harsh mistakes, you will be fine, since this structure is solid. The idea for black is to defend here, don't allow any crazy shenanigans, and go for the minority attack, or plant the knight on c4, but generally this plan is considered the best, if we have time for this. In this case, I think white should have taken the knight, since although maybe my knight is good here, but after this white has quite a strong move, c4, undermining this. If we take, this pawn is weak, but this is a dynamic play. I think the mistake for white was to move the queen on e1, since it is a little bit misplaced here. Rooks aren't connected. They would love to get in play but this allows some initiative, some tempo play for me. White moves his bishop a few times, losing time. I'm not sure which plan was best here. Maybe to get rid of this bishop, but then defend this pawn like this, this rook here, for instance. 1, 2, this is defended. White doesn't have time to put more pressure. We just go here. And kind of more dynamic play here or here, but this is kind of a computerish way to play. We have a weak diagonal. In some lines, black gets rid of this bishop via a5, but then bishop regroups here, and I'm not really comfortable with this kinds of dynamic positions. So I tried to simplify it, just taking the bishop, putting the queen on this square, pressure here. This is I didn't like for the simple reason of f4 straight away we can take. This is not under attack, there's a rook here, knight is supported, and this knight is misplaced. So I go back, keeping the option of moving to e4. Maybe he lost a time here, a touch of time, because this pawn doesn't participate a lot, and straight up f4 would have been a little bit better, I guess. This is just a waiting move because I can't do anything here. Maybe a rook here would be strong, because after this and this we would have this square supported, but after this we play b5, because now this is not a threat, although this is maybe a threat. Maybe here, but then we can lose this pawn. Not sure. Okay. We take, plant the knight, cut the connection, take, simplify, and not sure if this is the best move. Maybe just exchanging, because after exchange, what we have? 5 pawns, but this is a passed pawn, this is dangerous. It's hard to push pass pawn here, especially with this one weak. I think white is a little bit better here, so maybe this was the right approach. Attack. I was afraid of this move. Here, attack, go here, then maybe push forward, but that cuts the connection. But this is a little bit dangerous. Maybe just here. Okay. This is clearly a mistake, since our king runs, and it helps black to start an attack. Everything else was quite straightforward. So this is a first session. I hope you like it. If you have some feedback, ideas, please share with me. I will try my best to become better at this kind of stuff, recording videos and sharing some of my ideas and knowledge and love of chess. Thank you very much, and see you later.